Hey yo everyone! Time to talk about the Woodcutters. Woodcutters are a half-star unit from the Rustic era. They cost 40 leadership, but despite that pack a punch when leveled up, making them a great unit to look into. So let's do just that. Woodcutters sport 4 traits. Feudal Laborers makes them good at resource gathering. That can be seen with their default labor of 5.76, which through Veterancy can be increased up to 6.91. This is far from the highest of any unit. That falls with the Serfs, which can get up to 11.2, but it is still respectable labor to fill out a gathering force. The trait Armor Penetration informs of how their hand axe is good at penetrating through armor. Peasants is a trait defining their low leadership, which is 40. Shield Bearers gives them a good reduction to range damage taken. Woodcutters by default only have one formation. The dispersed formation is helpful when taking attacks from ranged opponents. If you want a better combat formation that's tighter, the column is available through the Veterancy tree. You can use 2 different unit orders with Woodcutters, though both are only available through the middle Veterancy line. Shield Rush is a charge attack that allows Woodcutters to deal a significant amount of damage for their tier. The Sprint order is also available. This allows them to gain a 15% movement speed buff for 8 seconds. With the teasers out of the way, there are 3 different Veterancy options for the Woodcutters. Before you level, the stats for Woodcutters are as seen on the screen. At the beginning, you will earn a 10% increase to slashing armor penetration. The top line though, increases slashing damage by 4%, increases minimum damage dealt by 6%, increases blocking break by 200%, increases rate of attack by 20%, increases slashing armor penetration by 20%, increases damage dealt to infantry by 10%. The top line will end with the stats that you see on screen now. The middle line will unlock Sprint, increase health by 6%, increase slashing armor penetration by 50%, unlock the column formation, increases the slashing damage by 5%, unlocks charge, and increases critical hit chance by 4%. Middle line will result in the stats that are now shown on screen. The bottom line increases damage dealt in siege battles by 5%, adds 8 more soldiers to the unit, increases the collected resources by 20%, reduces the unit resupply by 50%, and reduces unit losses from open world battles by 20%. If you were to put your remaining levels into the middle line after completing the bottom, you would have these stats as shown on screen now. Woodcutters can be used in a multitude of ways. The bottom line makes them a good unit for running around outside the fief. The increased resource collection and reduction to unit losses and resupply are very handy. With that being said, the Serfs would fill this role better. Though you can only take one of a certain unit into battle, you can leave the fief and use multiple of a single type of unit for resource collecting. In the end, running multiple Serfs will net better resource collection. The top line gives the Woodcutters some bite with the blocking break, damage increase, rate of attack increase, etc. I personally though would recommend the middle line. It also gives some damage increase, but adds the utility of the sprint, charge, and the column formation. This allows you to do great damage, but also run in and out of combat since Woodcutters cannot sustain combat for a long period of time. Getting into Doctrines for Woodcutters, they can be equipped with the Slashing Doctrine, increasing slashing armor penetration, Slashing Damage Doctrine, increasing slashing damage, Blunt Doctrine, increasing blunt armor penetration, Blunt Damage Doctrine, increasing blunt damage, Life Doctrine, increasing health, Rare Sword Doctrine, increasing block, Rare Sword Doctrine 2, reducing range damage taken, Assassination Doctrine, increasing damage to warlords, Breakthrough Doctrine, increasing damage to units, Barber Surgeon's Doctrine, reducing the total unit losses in the open world, and the Piercing, Slashing, and Blunt Defense Doctrines, increasing their respective defenses. There is one more doctrine that can be equipped on woodcutters that I do not know. If I had to hazard a guess, it would be that it's the Epic Sword Doctrine 2, which reduces the cooldown of their charge. If anyone knows for sure, please say so in the comments down below. For reference, I have put on the screen the doctrines that I run on my woodcutters. That is the Blunt Doctrine, Slashing Damage Doctrine, Rare Sword Doctrine, and the Blunt Defense Doctrine. I will say though, that this is a low tier unit and I would save your better doctrines for the better units. But if you have extras, you might as well load them up. One of the biggest uses for woodcutters is as a fill unit in a warband to push towers and battering rams with. They can withstand a decent barrage with their roughly 5k health, at least enough of a barrage to get the tower or ram in position. Even after finishing that goal, they can help push the initial point if you play them correctly. They should be charged in and retreated quickly so as to not take too much rebuttal damage. They are better to flank with if possible, as a stalwart or pike wall will take woodcutters out quickly. If you can flank around to the archer units, they will help greatly with taking them out as they have the reduced range damage taken. All in all, it is a unit to test and play with. The main goal is to push a tower or ram for a mere 40 leadership. You can do this with serfs for less, but the woodcutters offer a great amount of damage and utility after the job is done for only 10 leadership more. As for Martellatory, that is a spotlight for another day. I hope this video helped give you some insight into the woodcutters. If it did, please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. If you want to engage with the community, you can join the Discord or a Twitch stream over on my Twitch channel, the schedule of which can be found on Twitch. With all that, until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.
Oh no, I'm messing it up. I'm messing it up. No.
Should we just lose it all?
Yeah.
Ah.